The United States has ordered the suspension of student visa processing as President Donald Trump's administration ramps up vetting of their social media. It is the latest move that takes aim at international students who are a major source of revenue for U.S. universities. This after U.S. Secretary of State rescinded hundreds of visas and the Trump administration moved to bar Harvard University from admitting any non-Americans. A cable signed by Rubio reportedly orders embassies and consulates not to allow any additional student or exchange visa appointment capacity until further guidance is issued. It said the State Department plans to issue guidance on expanding social media vetting for all such applications. The cable suggested that the suspension could be brief, telling embassies to receive new guidance in the coming days. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce did not comment directly on the cable, but said that we take very seriously the process of vetting.
Every sovereign country has a right to know who's trying to come in, why they want to come in, who they are, what they've been doing, and at least hopefully within that framework, determine what they will be doing while they're here. So that's nothing new.
Rubio last week told a Senate hearing that he has revoked thousands of visas since Trump took office on January 20th. Rubio has also issued an obscure law that allows the Secretary of State to remove foreigners for activities deemed counter to U.S. foreign policy interests. So what does social media vetting actually mean? Traditionally, social media vetting means scrutinizing an individual's social media profiles and online activity to assess their character, behavior, potential risks, and alignment with specific values or requirements. However, in this case, the term social media vetting is not very clear. This action is seen as part of the Trump administration's wider immigration crackdown, especially given the pro-Palestinian protests on U.S. campuses last year. The Trump administration in the past has accused Harvard University of being too liberal and allowing anti-Semitism to flourish on its campus. In March, a Brown University professor, Dr. Rasha Alawieh, was deported after photos of Iran's supreme leader Ali Hosseini Khamenei were found on her phone. She was also found to have attended the funeral of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in February. So does this mean that simply posting images of a Palestinian flag could impact a student's probability of getting a visa? The question arises, how is the Trump administration planning to conduct these so-called social media vetting? Now, according to reports, the U.S. will be expanding its existing visa screening and vetting processes to include more comprehensive social media checks for certain visa applicants, particularly international students. Major tech giants including Meta, Google and X are yet to comment on this new policy. Already scheduled visa interviews will continue according to the current process. However, all new appointment slots have been pulled down until updated vetting guidelines are finalized. The U.S. Embassy in India has warned Indian students studying in American institutions and universities that they may lose eligibility for future visas if they skip classes, drop out, or leave their program of study without informing the embassy. Through a post on social media platform X, the embassy asked Indian students to always adhere to the terms of their visa and maintain their student status to avoid any issues. We earlier spoke to Ambassador Arun Singh, who is a former ambassador to the United States.
So one clear impact could be that the number of students going to the United States this year, including from India, would come down. Now, that's something that certainly impacts on students who have certain plans. It also impacts on the universities because large number of universities in the US were raising revenue from the fees given by Indian and other foreign students. According to one recent data, there are more than 1 million foreign students in the United States, and they are contributing almost $50 billion just as tuition fees. And then there's additional expenditure that they incur. So it's a major infusion to the US economy. So there will certainly be a hit at that. Now, as was mentioned by the spokesman of the US State Department, clearly every country does have a sovereign right to determine who they will give visas to. But the manner in which they're doing it this time, it seems that the right of free expression is something that the US is not accepting anymore.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.